Today we are going to be taking your Fortnite opinions and making them into a video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to Talk at Clen, where we take a look at anything that you guys have to say about Fortnite or gaming and we make it into our very own video for today. Guys, if you want to participate in these videos, join the Discord, pin comment, description down below. With that being said, let's get into the first topic for today. I know a small amount of people didn't really care about these, but I feel like Epic needs to add more ways to make looting fun and make the loot pool vary and feel fresh. Small things like a revamp of the character collection system and a fishing collection book would make the map feel more interactive, and I personally liked these additions. And the vaults and abductor ships made it fun, like a mini challenge to get good loot. Even the turrets, camera, and henchman booths made the vaults fun. Now I feel like with all the vaults there's not that much of a challenge and not the fun. Overall, I think they need to make the map more interactive and make the loot pool have more variety. So when you first mentioned this, I was kind of thinking like, okay, like you're picking up guns, how could you possibly really make looting fun? But my mind wasn't really going to things like vaults and all that, which with the hints for next season, looks like you're going to get your wish a little bit, you know what I mean? But I really did like the fish collection book. I like it's really tough because I'm one of the people who just enjoys the game, but it can't hurt to really add these things, you know what I mean? So I mean, this is why I'm really excited for next season, because it looks like we have the henchmen coming back, we have the vaults coming back, but something that I always talked about on the channel, I won't go too deep into it, but the abductors, just like you said, the mini game to get loot, that makes looting way more fun. So initially I didn't know what you were talking about, but honestly, like, this is something I could just add to the game, but is it necessary is the question. I still have fun with it, but I'd love to know what you guys think down below. I'm of opinion this, like, it would be great if they added these things, but I don't know if they're necessary. I don't know why people hate this season. The forest POIs are really good and the loot pool is good. I know the summer event was horrible, but I'm enjoying this season much more than the last. Well, I disagree with you, but I'm enjoying this season more than the last. I really liked, like, don't get me wrong, I'm one of the people who likes every Fortnite season, right? I liked season 1 the best, then season 2, then season 3. Season 3 has been the worst at chapter 4, but I have been having fun. I kind of understand why people hate this season, and I'm of the opinion that it's the same kind of people. Like, not everybody, of course, everybody has their own opinions, right? I'm just saying, like, the majority of the hate you see online are from a lot of people who are just not enjoying video games and not enjoying Fortnite in general, you know what I mean? So that's where I feel like most of the hate for the season comes. But the POIs, I will never understand why anybody's hating on it, to be honest. Like, the brand new POIs I'm speaking of, I understand, like, if you think the chapter 4 map in general feels a little bit bland, but I love the forest biome. I think it's beautiful, I think it's fun to play in, and I really like the loot pool. But I agree with you, like, the only bad thing about the whole season has been the summer event. I've been enjoying myself. I think Atrioc is just fighting against deepfakes now because he got caught. He isn't standing up for anybody. Oh my god, this is we're bringing it back to the old Atrioc thing, eh? So I know that he's been, like, doing something to help with deepfakes online, but to be honest with you, I don't know too much about what he's doing to really have a comment on it, but this is something that could very well come true. If you got caught, like, and the internet got really mad at you because you were watching some deepfakes of some people you know, this would be, like, the proper way to get people to, like, be okay with what you've done, you know what I mean? So I wish I could add to that. I'm not ultimately familiar with what's going on and what he's doing after the entire situation. Have a controversial opinion here. There are a lot of low quality concepts being made and people act like they are just as good as these well thought out seasonal concepts. I still appreciate the work that it takes to make a concept, and I like seeing them, but some people need to be told to do a little better before posting. Oh man, that is definitely a controversial opinion, but I will say this, okay? I'll say this, like, there are concepts that are clearly better than other concepts, but I agree with you. I really appreciate the work and I appreciate the ideas. It's for the concepts, for me personally, don't get me wrong, if they look good, that adds to it, but I really like the general ideas that people do come up with, like the designs for some skins. They don't have to be, like, perfectly made just like Fortnite. I just enjoy, like, hey, this is what I would make if I was making a Fortnite season, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you aren't exactly wrong. I disagree with you pointing back to the device saying that it was the best story the storyline has been. I would argue it would be either with the entirety of Season X, ignoring the gameplay, I'm just talking about the storyline, or Chapter 2 Season 6. I love the way Epic handled the story in both seasons. When it comes down to the storyline, it's really all of opinion. Well, like, there's obviously some seasons that were objectively better than other seasons, but I mean, like, when it comes to the storyline being great, like you mentioned with Season X and Chapter 2 Season 6, I agree with you. That's probably top 5 for sure off the top of my head. top 5 seasons for the storyline, along with what I mentioned, which is Chapter 2 Season 2. This new season coming out, by the way, seems like if it ends up being as good as we think it'll be, that has the potential to be there with the storyline too. But I don't think you're wrong. I can't argue with that. Chapter 2 Season 6 and Season X both had absolutely amazing storylines, and I was so involved with it, especially in Season X. So like, I still ultimately think Chapter 2 Season 2 had the best time in the storyline, but man, these are just as good. With the current state of Fortnite, I hope they stop developing things like FPS mode, unwanted weapon changes, and bad updates. I really hope they do the exact same thing that COD MW2 did, that being DMZ. It's a playable mode where a few teams are put into a match, and with each team having one corner of the map. Each team explores the map, kills NPCs, and bosses are present on the map. Do a bunch of quests and exfil out the map. Not only would this be fun, but the story can improve a lot to help of a mode like this. It can help explore the life of Fortnite outside the loop. This would be honestly, it's tough because I would like to see the things that they are developing, and I love seeing like them constantly make new things. Like, to talk about first person mode in general, I guess you could put stuff in front of that, but still, like, I'm still confused about how that's all going to work in Fortnite, by the way, but that's the conversation for another time. I would rather them continue working on updates of what's already out. This sounds like it'd be like really cool for just like an LTM or like a permanent LTM for a season. You can't go wrong with it, but I would not replace this idea with anything that Epic Games has in mind right now. It's just like one of those things, if Fortnite or Epic Games were to ever add into the game, it would just be really cool. Regardless, it would be an amazing thing to add to the game in general. Like, you're totally right. This would be awesome, and it would be a really good way to bring an idea of life outside the loop. With the Lego collab, I hope we get a skin that works similar to the tuna fish. So it starts off as a normal Fortnite Lego default figure, but it has multiple edit styles, which turns the Lego figure into different Fortnite character Lego figures. I don't have anything to add to that. That would be very, very cool. I would really like to see that. And I don't think it'll happen, but it's not completely out of the question because it seems, but then again, now that I'm thinking about it, this update's supposed to be like as big as a season launch. So yeah, actually it is possible. Epic should make more game modes like imposters or the new racing mode every 2 to 3 chapters or so we can have a high quality Epic made maps that have more variety, so we aren't just playing BR and creative maps that, although are very good creative maps, they are not on Epic Games' level. A fighting mode would be cool. Just saying, oh, could you imagine a fighting mode? Could you imagine after, like, I never really thought about that. Could you imagine? I'm sorry, this isn't exactly what you wrote, but with the racing mode coming out, people are like describing it like, what if Fortnite like takes like the Mario Kart mechanics and makes their own game out of it? Could you imagine if they dive into Smash Bros? Could you imagine all the different Fortnite skins and all the abilities that they could have in a fighting mode? That would be incredible. I would love that, but you're honestly totally right. What they need to do though is, once they come up with these modes, like they have the racing mode, they have imposters, let's say like both those come out and they keep it, it needs to be permanent. It needs to be permanent. Something like this, these giant updates, like I still don't understand why they just didn't keep imposters. This is something that we just talked about in a live stream in a podcast with Clen that I was just on. Why not keep modes like imposters in the game? Anything giant that they add like that, I understand like LTMs, they could have the rotations, but something as big as that, something as big as the racing mode, I hope it's not just chapter exclusive. They need to continue doing this stuff. I feel like next season is going to truly make or break it for me in terms of if I'm going to take the storyline and their plans for the future storyline development seriously, as well as seasonal events. Epic has proven with the last few years since at least No Sweat Summer that seasonal events are not their main priority, which to a degree is fine, but I feel like Epic forgets that this is one of the big reasons why people gravitated towards their game to play these cool and unique events for now the past 2 years. It feels like seasonal events are mostly just a copy and pasted content from last year's event with very few changes, and nothing that makes said event stand out from any of the other previous events. As for the storyline of Chapter 3, did okay for the storyline, but in the final new chapters it ended up completely butchering the storyline and leaving it in a very dire state with no real sense of direction and payoff to go with at the end of Fracture, and the terrible Zero War comics completely butchering the main 3 factions by ruining the 7 with celebrity cameos, primarily Paradigm Kid. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'm still hurting about that one. As well as not fleshing out the 7 as a whole overall. Revealing and killing the leader of the Iona comic book, and finally giving the last reality a terrible send-off of the Herald, which should have been a character that it would lead towards an even greater threat, which we have yet to see to this day, and ended up just becoming a generic excuse for a new map. To this day, A lot of these problems have either been swept under the rug or not addressed properly at all, with most seasons ending in lackluster results, with no previous questions answered and only further adding to the list of questions when that shouldn't be the case. In my opinion, this next season and the end event is the final straw for me, because it will be the penultimate proof if Epic has any sense of direction to take this story, and if the wait will be worth it, as well as if Epic can give us quality seasonal events again. I think Epic's biggest flaw at the moment is forgetting that just because they are on top at the moment doesn't mean another big game can come along and sweep the rug from under their feet. Epic has become too complacent in their own status in the gaming industry. Okay, I didn't notice how much I typed there, goddamn it. Okay, so this was posted before I don't know, like, I don't know how many teasers really came out, because people seem to be changing their minds about the storyline. It seems like Epic Games is actually going to deliver with the storyline now, so I don't know if your opinion stayed the same, Sizzo, but let's assume that everything, like just what you said, is, I mean, it still stands, to be honest with you. With the storyline, I haven't been nearly as invested and excited. I've been invested, but not as excited because of what you said. Like, they are becoming complacent with the storyline, but I wonder if they are ramping it up now. I don't know why they stopped. I don't know if, like you said, they become too complacent. I don't know. For the storyline, it's not the final straw, but for me, the final straw has already happened with the holiday events, like you said. It already broke for me. Like, to bring me back, you'll have to come up with a banger one. That's where I'm at with that. But with the story, it's tough because I'm still ultimately enjoying it. Besides for Chapter 4 Season 2, I'm still enjoying it. So, like, I'm not, like, on the final straw there. But to talk about what you said with, I wonder if I don't know if they become complacent. I think they were just working on creative mode more than anything, because they still believe that that's going to be the future. And to some extent, I'm still, like, on that train. I think it'll be, like, a healthy balance between creative and battle royale. The future of Fortnite, I'm talking, like, 5-10 years down the road. So I wonder if it's not them being complacent. I think it's just them working on creative mode. So there's a lot to talk about when it comes to that. I'd love to know what you guys think down below. Now, Kyle, if next season is heist season, then here. The Cube Cradle steals a 0 point, and we have to set up the heist to save the 0 point. And the 7, with that, we can use a 0 point to travel to a new reality. Since the island is in danger, we leave it. We blow up the Cube Cradle during the heist. That would make a good live event like Chapter 2, Season 7. To be honest with you, I've seen a lot of people talking about us possibly boarding the Cube Cradle and that being the entire heist theme, and that's how the last reality is being tied into the storyline, because myself included, everybody's confused how this seems to be like a generic build up to just a regular heist season, but the last reality seems to be coming back too. We don't really know, so the only thing we can draw right now is we're going to have to go onto the Cube Cradle. I just can't wait to see what happens, dude. I think the new Fortnite profile means it's going to be heist themed season, like the little event we had in Chapter 4 Season 1. Epic was testing how much we like the new mechanics, and now that everyone loved it, they're basing an entire season around it. This I actually did see, and I think I mentioned this in a video because I happened to be on my phone or on my computer. I don't remember when you ended up posting this into the Talk at Clen thing, and I was like, because usually I like getting an authentic reaction to everything, right? But I ended up seeing this, and I was like, that's so true. And I still agree with it, to be honest with you. Like, now we know, like, I'd be shocked at this point if it wasn't heist season, but it's interesting to see if Epic Games, like, actually did bring out that 2-week event at the beginning of the season to put it as a test. I just don't know if that, like, because they planned so far ahead, right? Was that a test, or are we gonna keep getting the heist mechanics in? Because if that's the case, people are really gonna love the season, myself included. Regardless, I am excited for what's to come next season. But guys, with that being said, that is all the opinions we have to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to everybody who participated. And guys, if you want to help us make the next Talk at Clen videos or lots of other content, lots of other videos, we all come together and help make videos together, join the Discord down below in the pinned comment in the description down below. We would love to have you there, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. On the screen right now, you'll have 2 fantastic videos from the Clen channel. If you want to continue watching the channel, I would appreciate it. Either way, I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.